Yo, what up, YouTube? Going through another deck profile here for you guys. Wanted to walk through a Majespecter deck that I was testing out and running. I'm still kind of working on piloting this deck all the way, but wanted to just kind of get this video out there, show some of the deck list options that I'm running and kind of what we can do with it in its current state, and then hopefully this one will be a work in progress. I might get a 2.0 video going or something like that later on. But yeah, we'll run through it real quick here, and then I'm going to hop into a solo mode. And then I've got two replays that are, kind of showing the core strategy of the deck. And then I've got two other that we might just kind of talk about a high level. Because they were really, really long, but they kind of show uh, that this deck does kind of grind out long in a decent game. So, but yeah, so we'll run through, just overall right here for card choices. For my staples, I'm running 3 Veiler, 3 Maxi, 3 Imperm, 2 Called By, and then the 1 Crossout. And then for the actual, parts of the engine here, running 3 Bunbuku, 3 Yata, 1 QB, 1 Ogama, and then we have 3 Majesty Pegasus, 1 Dynamite Power Load. We've got 3 Porcupine, 1 Kirin, 1 Requiem, and then I am running the, Floodgate Spellcaster, Secret Village of the Spellcasters. And then with the Requiem, we are running the 3 Dark Contract package. So we have the 3 Dark Contract, 1 Requiem, and then the 1 King Deus Machine X. This is kind of, 2 reasons. One is it works good going second as a type of board breaker when you have the effect from Requiem on it. You can target 1 card on the field, shuffle your Dark Contract, and then destroy it. And then another situation with it is these guys are a pendulum. So if you have a type of hand where you start with Dark Contract and only 1 normal summon that's not going to search you an extender, you can still kind of go into an Electromite or a Beyond the Pendulum or a Orthus, like a new A play, with the Dark Contract. So it does kind of bolster your going first options. That's why I'm running it right now. Completely cuttable. You could cut it and run, some going second, more cards like run triple evenly or gamma really strong. Extra deck, same type of situation. One notable thing, I'm not running an Appaloosa. This deck could put up a 4 material Appaloosa or a 3 material Appaloosa fairly easy. But a lot of the lines where you would go into that, it's really tough for you to have an extra body to tribute. And as we get into the combo line here, you'll see the whole crux of this deck is to have people to keep tributing, and then you're kind of playing control with your spells and your traps. But yeah, so we'll just jump right into the solo mode and then go through a combo real quick, and then we'll go into some of the replay breakdowns. All right, let's hop into this solo mode here, see what type of hand it gives us. Oh, perfect. So here we go. 1 card starter. With this type of hand, it does die to a hand trap, but we do have a little bit of protection if we need to with crossout, so not too big of a deal. But let's just pretend uninterrupted 1 card combo. We're starting with a Bunbuku, so we normal summon it. We're gonna use its effect to search for our lovely Porcupine, the Yamarashi. So we're gonna use that to add it to hand. This is gonna then let us special summon it from hand. This is typically where they would chain your Maxi. And then from that point on, you have a couple pivot options, but you can honestly just take the Max C challenge. But we'll go right into Nue. So one thing to keep in mind, this does lock you when you use Nue's effect into Majespecter Draco Slayer only. Sorry, Slaker. Don't know why I said that. But yeah, so adds these two back to hand. So now we can set up our pen scale, and then we can send to the extra deck 2 free monsters. So in this case, you would typically want to send Pegasus, but because I have Pegasus in hand, I'm going to send something like Toad. That way I just get more triggers. So we're going to set up our back row here. We get our 5 and our 2. And then we're going to Pendulum Shokan. This is going to bring 3 bodies out, which is nice. Get Toad, Yatta, and then our Majesty. Yatta's, not Yatta, but Toad, Ogama. He sets, so you want him to be last in the chain link in this type of setup. So we're going to do 1, 2, and then 3. And then that's going to let us resolve, set a trap card. So in this case, I'm going to go with Tornado. Tornado is just really strong overall right now. We're going to add a Wind to hand, and then we're going to search our Floodgate because we love Floodgates, woo! Especially if the guy Max-C'd me, we're definitely going for the Floodgate. In this situation, because this guy hasn't done anything yet, let's just say this was a dead card that's obviously not as good as Crossout, so we would pitch that dead card, and then now we can overlay 2 of these into our lovely Ryu. So then Ryu comes out. We're gonna use the Majespecter Wind pitch, and then we're gonna special summon. I would say in this case we want to go for another trap, so let's get a QB. And then from here we're gonna go, this is add to hand, right? So I care more about getting the trap versus summoning a body right now. So what we will do is we will pitch this. There we go. And then now, in this case, what you can do is go for another level 4. Let's go ahead and get... Tough call, because I'm trying to think what we want to have less of. So let's just grab that. It doesn't matter. We're adding a Tempest, and then we're going to set, and then we're going to set. So now, what I could do is overlay these guys into another level 4, but no point to. I want to have 3 tributes live, and then I want to fill my board with extra. So we're going to pass like this. So obviously now we have Max C. We could just like shotgun it if we wanted to. This guy's going to special summon. Let's just Max C because we can. And then we will let this guy come out. Once it comes out, I will show our first point of interaction here. Boom, there we go. We're going to decide off of this situation. We're going to just banish. So I will go ahead, bounce QB, banish. And then this is going to trigger our next layer of interruption, which is Ryu gets to go off again. And then we're going to pitch the other copy of Yatta. And then this is going to let us go for a Kirin. Perfect. And then he's just got to pass. So from there, we had, another, negate a special summon with a tribute, and then we had another tribute to pop a monster. So if they gone into the extra deck at all and they had no target protection for pops, or this is just like a solemn judgment basically. So something like Chaos Angel hitting the field before it even has a chance to banish something, you just negate the summon and it destroys it. So lots of interaction. And then we had another bounce where I could target my Yatta, bounce it to hand, and then bounce another one of his guys with Kirin. So huge layers of interaction. It's not your classic like let me get Omni Negates up, but this is a lot of different stuff like Banish Removal, Negate Summons, Target Pops, we're locking people out of spells, so really interactive board. But so here we go, let's see what you can do on the next turn though. So from here, before you pen summon, before you do anything, if your new way is still on the board, this is just free. You just go straight into Exceed the Pendulum. Exceed is going to go off and you can chain itself to itself. So there you go, you get a double chain. This is going to bring back from the graveyard our Yatta. Oh, that was a mistake. I should have put that over there so that I could append to more people, but doesn't really matter either way. We're going to add something like, let's go with QB. Neither of these matter because I already have all my trap cards, so Yatta and QB aren't going to be able to do anything, but we will go ahead and pend off of this. So we will go Toad, we will go QB. Boom, boom, just like that. And then now Toad is going to let us set a spell card so we get our Wind, which is nice. And then look at this wonderful full field. And what we can go for is one of these, like that. Let it go through, target, and then let's just remove this back row. There we go. And right here, just to show that we could do, you know, more wild stuff. This is like if you wanted to go for more follow-up end phase, say you know you can't get lethal, things like that. I could literally just use like these two to just go into something like a SP Little Knight just to have it on board. And then from here, I mean, no matter what, like it's just up to you what you want to do. So that's why I was saying in the beginning, you could add in something like a Appaloosa, no problem. You constantly have enough bodies on the board to go into it, but I haven't really gotten to that point where I feel like I need it yet, and as you can see, this deck just has gas. So yeah, we'll go ahead and hop into some of these replays. That was our one card combo Bunbuku. By the time you get to turn 3, you have tons of control and you just go into access code for game. But perfect. All right, so we'll hop into some of these replays here, but I just wanted to show what I was talking about. Like, so I've got a little win streak going. I think the forward leading up to it where I was messing around with the U-Bell ratios. So then I think it was these 4 in a row where I swapped over to the Majespecter deck trying to get some replays together last night. And right here, as you can see, it's a 8 concurrent win streak. So some of these games lasted for a long time. And literally, like, so these are the two we'll go over real easy to showcase, and then these two in the middle are the ones I might just hop into some key points and then show once I get them kind of queued up where we're at. But they were a brick fest, and as you can tell, I mean, a brick fest going into tier limits, turn 27, and it's a victory. Like this deck can grind, man. It can grind. So we'll hop into it. Once you're bricked and you kind of have a little bit of a resource loop set up, it's tough for them to stop you entirely, and you just kind of are stalling them until you get your full combo live. But with the amount of hand traps you can play, it definitely is workable in the higher ranks. But yeah, so we'll hop into this one first. We'll just kind of go straight into it instead of like doing jump cuts. But yeah, first replay here is a wonderful Max C challenge, and as I said, this is Floodgate Turbo. So most of the time when somebody max sees you, that's where you just kind of let go of being a gentleman and having that like fake thought in your mind of like, oh, I might go for, you know, Majesty's Pegasus and search the other field spell, but nope. if the Maxi is dropped, you're just going Floodgate Turbo. So we're going to normal summon Boombuku, classic combo, search for the Porcupine. We just went over. He's going to chain Maxi, just like I said. This is the correct spot to do it. And then right here, Porcupine, he draws one. We're going to, at that point, go right into our new A, let him draw a second card. This is going to add our 2 back to hand. And then this is the classic. We have no other cards in hand. You get to see this is just a straight free pen 2 off of this combo. He's got no interruption yet, so we're lucky. And then we're going to go Chainlink 1, Chainlink 2. I care more about having my Majespecter stuff go through at this point. Gonna pitch a Dark Contract. We add this Spellcaster's Village, and then we're gonna use these 2 to go up into Ryu. And then I already had Wind, Tornado, and Imperm in hand, so I'm gonna set all of those, and then we're gonna just keep the Cyclone. Looks like they're playing Centurion, which sucks. I Chainlink bad here. My brain isn't working. I forget that Centurion, this is a spellcaster, right? So as soon as this touched the board, he could chain Emblema, and I was like, oh, let me just negate this thing. And then once I realized that he chained Emblema, I was like, oh crap, this guy's a spellcaster. So I chained Tornado. Basically, what I should have done is just use Tornado only, save the Imperm. This is going to resolve regardless. And then this would resolve, but then he's just stuck at that point. So basically I just went -1 off of my Imperm right here for no reason, but that's okay. Sometimes the Imperm is just there to show people that you could have really destroyed him. But yeah, so I just go right into our off of the Wind, or off of his effect, I go straight into the Kirin, and then he's just locked out. As many know, that whole deck is nothing but just pure spell card starters. So after that, he has no more normal summon. He has nothing that he can play from hand that's going to let him special summon from hand. And he's just locked like that. And then it goes back to my turn and we can OTK. But yeah, so that was very quick, very fast. Floodgate Turbo through Maxi. And then we'll just go right into the second one because it's similar. It's a similar situation. And then after this one, I will do there'll be a jump cut as I try to queue up some of the spots where we're not just in bricked land. But yeah, so same case here, but this time I have a way more disgusting opening hand. So we already have the Porcupine, so this is huge where I can chain Porcupine to the Maxi. So now he's going to draw 1 less. And because Maxi has resolved, we're going straight to Floodgate Turbo. We're going to search a Toad because we already had the Porcupine, so why not get an extra Toad in play? And then off the new way now, he's only drawn 1 card. And I add the Yatta and the QB, and then I have Majesty Pegasus in hand. So now off of this Pend, we're going to get 4 bodies. We're going to get a Chainlink 4, and he only draws 1 card. So, I mean, tell me a deck that's better at playing under Maxi than this, man. Like, with a God Hand, he drew 2 cards. And I get literally everything. And then from this point, I have to go into a Ryu, so he's going to draw 3. So literally draw 3, and I get Cyclone, Wind, get both of my traps, Tempest and Tornado set, and I get Secret Village. And then we're just going to pitch that because I can set it later. Doesn't matter. So, there we go. Go right into Ryu. And then I just leave all these bodies up. Extra tributes. So here we go. Goes into Samsara D Lotus. I Effect Veiler it. And then that's game. Because similar cases last time. U-Bell. You know, another huge deck in the meta right now. 90% of all their starters are, you know, a spell card. And their only normal summon is typically a Samsara. And from there, if he tributes it, it's already pre-negated. So that's just GG. But yeah, so that is the Maxi challenge back-to-back. Just wanted to show it off. Like I said, I want to get more replays of this deck. I want to try to mess with the extra deck more. But as of right now, it's functioning wonderfully. And yeah, we'll try to get some of these bricked games queued up just so you can see some of the back and forth and kind of the recursion that's happening. But yeah, thanks so much. All right, so this one's actually the 11 game, the 11 turn game, and I'm just gonna put it on fast forward and then try to shoutcast it as it happens, pause at key moments. But as you can see here, I have one card starter, and then I have just a wild hand, right? But so the one card starter comes out, and then he's gonna go ahead and ash it, and there's nothing else I can do at this point because my hand has no extenders. So then from here, we're just gonna set up village and then set 3. I blocked my pendulum zones like an idiot too, but who cares? And looks like he's kind of bricked out because it's a Blackwing type deck, and they use a good amount of their spell cards. So I just pass like this. I'm like, all right, we'll take the damage. I don't care. He's just gonna have to go into his next part of his combo, and because I have no spellcaster, he can at least set up his stuff. But we're gonna get a Toad off the top deck. We're just still bricked. Lets me set a Wind. I decide right now is a good chance to go for this, which sucks. And then he ends up having the bane of my existence, Unending Nightmare. So then this is why this game gets drug out so long, is it ends up being a Blackwing and a it's a Blackwing and a Centurion deck mixed together. He's gonna maxi me 3 times, and I just keep like letting him draw barely anything. So finally cleared up my pendulums, goes into Chaos Angel. I'm gonna use Tempest to just negate the Chaos Angel, and then now I'm just with a Porcupine in hand, nothing else. We got a QB off the top deck, which is huge. Let me search a Tornado. We're gonna use Porcupine, and he draws another. So I think that is his 3rd Max C that he got off on me. Yep, all 3 Max Cs resolved, and I just keep like playing pass on Max E while he's got nothing in hand. I can't set up any of my pendulum zones. I banish his one of, and then now he sets up, you know, a way to stop me from lethaling him. So then now we're doing the same thing in end phase on his turn. I set up all this recursion. So just to recap what happened there, like it's his turn, right? He sets up his thing. I banish. He's gonna pass. I activate Wind, and then on his turn, I send the QB. I bring out a Bunbuku. I did this all in main phase because while it's still main phase on your during the main phase, you can quick effect, right? So I get him out during main phase, and then Bunbuku search for Porcupine. Porcupine comes out, and then Porcupine is going to use his effect to set a card, and then I recycle the Wind, right? So then end phase happens, he passes, and then I have 2 bodies to go into New Way for free, and then now I get a pen too because of the Wind and 1 body on the board, right? So then he hits it with Nightmare. Now I'm basically, I need to get recursion to the point where I can set up 2 back rows in a row off of his Nightmare, which just sucks. I need him get him down past 1,000 basically, and he goes right into his Boreas Storm. Boreas Storm is then up. I'm going to use this is a wild chain in battle phase. Pitch Bunbuku, right? So he's adding a target negate to hand, and I bring out Kirin, which is untargetable. So then now I'm going to bounce the Kirin itself and his Boreas. So then he's going to chain it, and all he can do is negate the New A because Kirin's untargetable. So then boom, right there. Bounce, still get the 800 in. So now he's only got one negate with Unending Nightmare, and I can set up a double scale. So what ends up happening is he has our wonderful boy Simoon. Simoon searches. I have the Ash to stop his draw, and then he just gets to beat over Nue. But now he's going to lose 1,000 in the end phase because of Simoon's effect, which is just game for me, basically. So right here, get a show again. We put Pegasus, put up Unicorn, use Pegasus effect, search Dino Mist, pop the Unicorn, Dino Mist goes up. This is a full Pendulum summon. We can only pen summon one right now, so we just go with Boombuku because he's going to add. Then this is going to let us get our boy out. This then lets us recycle the wind. These two go right up into our Electromite. We're going to use Electromite to send, then summon, and then this is enough for lethal. Boom. But yeah, so that one I just kind of did fast forward to show. It was bricked out, stalled, but then once you get to that point where, you know, you have your back row set up, it's crazy. It's crazy. Okay, so this one I'll probably jump around a bit more, but wanted to at least start off to show the beginning of how it got to 27 turns. So this is against the tier limits deck, and basically I started double Dark Contract and a Porcupine, and then called by Crossout. So we use the Dark Contract, at least you'll be able to see part of the Dark Contract, you know, starter. And then this is where I made a mistake. Forgetting that I didn't have something in the Pendulum zone. So what I should have done is probably gone into something like, instead of Electromite right here, I should have gone into maybe Beyond the Pendulum. But I can't remember what would have been even a good idea. New Way probably would have been a better idea too, because even though I would have only been able to add one card to hand, or no, yeah, I mean, even New Way would have been bad. I wouldn't have been able to set up a double scale, so that's why I went into Electromite. But then I forgot you need a scale setup to pop for the draw one to work. So I should have set the scale before I popped, or maybe even pop the scale. I don't know. It's one of those things where I just got confused on how Electromite is. It's been so long since I played it. So basically, as you can see, I'm passing with no cards in hand, an Electromite, a Boonbuku in the back row, and a Called By. And then this guy is also kind of bricked out of his mind. So this is the start of the brick off. He goes into, you know, pitch Trivikarma, search, and then he grabs Havness for some reason, and then uses this to just discard his entire hand, was trying to draw 3 and then target, so then I'm going to force the Called By, and then he has to just shuffle everything right now. And then so now he's just got dead cards in his hand, nothing goes off, and he gets to pop my Electromite. So then from here on, it's just 27 turns of nothing. So yeah, let me try to fast forward it, and then we will get to, you know, some of the, like from here, like I top deck a Tornado, and then like, how do I win this game, you know? So yeah, let me try to get us a little bit deeper in, and then I will bring it back online. Okay, so we're 11 turns in. We'll come on board here for now and show. Guy just keeps max seeing me. I basically have my Pendulum scale set up in a 1500 beater, and I've just been beating him down at every turn. And then I max see him, he Ash Blossoms, he max sees me, I stop. Like, it's just been back and forth, back and forth. So then now we'll go ahead, speed it up a little bit more, turn 12. So right here, he finally gets a playable card after a long time, gets a Fenrir out, and I instantly Tornado the Fenrir and just tribute my Porcupine again. So then this is where I'm stuck, where every time I keep tributing a guy, trying to get a body out, I have to Pendulum summon to get a body in the first place. So then I go into like Beyond the Pendulum right here, just so that I can try to keep the tempo, add another card for follow-up, get extra beatdown damage in. And then now we're just stuck here with 800 LP on the board. I have 6,800 LP. This goes to turn 27, by the way. So then here we go, turn 14. Guy finally gets a Rhino Heart. He's going to double mill off of this. And then there's the Havness. And then off the extra mill, he hits a Sharon. He doesn't chain both of them. So I'm just going to hit the Sharon. And then he doesn't follow up. So now all he has is the Havness that can do anything for him, and it's stuck in his graveyard. So then he just beats over my guy, screws up my Pendulum, summon more, and then we're back into Pen 1, go into just whatever fake line I have. So we go back into another pen 1, get Porcupine back out. He mills again off of the Scream, which nothing I can do, goes into Fairy Tail Snow, and then Fairy Tail's going to come out, flip one of my guys face down, and off of this, I think what I do is I was hoping that if I tributed these guys to go for Requiem, it would be enough for lethal, but I forgot about the Perlarino, I mean, the Scream making me lose 500 attack, so he's down to 500 LP. I'm back in the same situation I was in before. He's now going to shuffle these guys back so he can target pops my Bunbuku, and I think this might have been what was bad for him, is he popped my Bunbuku, I top deck a Yatta. Yatta sets up the 5 scale again, and then this time I can pen the Bunbuku. So then Bunbuku's gonna add, but then I get ashed. Luckily, after all these bricks, I drew a crossout designator. Still goes to turn 27, by the way. Like, how do these decks just... Both these decks are able to OTK, and neither of them can get a board up. It's just so wild. But yeah, so then here we go into finally a Nue. After all this time, we finally get a Nue up, and then he super polys it. Literally super polys it. So then I'm like, alright, we lose it. At least it's gonna resolve though. And then we've got a Garura. I think right here I could have just set it, but I just normal summoned it. This deep, 30 minutes into the game, back and forth with tier limits, I'm like, okay, let's just get it there. Get a body out. I wasn't thinking. He goes in, boom, beats me down. And then he's running real low on people that can be banished for the snow to come out. Decides to go for an SP Little Knight. And then now this is what's really got me just messed up for many turns on end. And I'll point out that I could have outed this at one point, and I just kept forgetting how it works. So it was just mainly my issue. But we're back to the same stalemate again. We go right back into the same stalemate, speed it up, search for the Spellcaster Village this time, because why not? Let's just lock him out of more spell cards, and then he keeps just dodging, and then now he's going to beat me down, and then here we go, battle phase, beat down, and then he just keeps chipping 100 away at me until I get down to about 950, I feel like. So we top deck a Tempest, which is huge. Then this right away off the search, I'm just going to pitch the Majesty Pegasus. I was just trying to keep him stuck in this loop. And then we're back in, baby. We're in defense phase. He beats me down, goes back, and then I'm going to pend one. And then here we go. Ooh, so right here is when I got the Cyclone. So from here on, I could have outed him and won the game, but I'm an idiot, is basically what's happening. So right here, I keep forgetting that he literally needs a body on the board. So regardless, I'm like, all right, let me use my Tempest to stop this, negate the summon. He just banished 7. So that was a huge neg for him. I get hit by 1600. We're down. And then right now is where my brain starts to wake up. And I realize I can pen summon. I'm bringing this guy out, and the Cyclone tributes the body, so then now he has no body to chain. So then he goes to battle phase, cues the battle, I chain this, pop, he loses it, now he's got nothing to play, and then turn 27, I can pen summon if my one guy that I've been pen summoning since turn 11, just over and over and over again, Porcupine, 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 and just beat down, man, like... Just a wild game. But yeah, so even when you're bricked, all hope is not lost. That's the full circle. You know, sometimes it's the end of the month, you're trying to get into Master because you don't want to climb through Plat again, and you haven't had time for the past 2 months. You're just stuck out here, depressed. Like, look at this. I haven't gotten to Master in the past like 3 months. I need to get there. I'm like, let's just play Floodgate Turbo. No. But yeah, just wanted to shout this out. We'll hop back into the deck list just to show it one last time here. and just do some closing thoughts. I like this deck. Like I said, things you could definitely do. Like this is something that I'm just running is like it's part of the theme. It's gonna add more follow up for those types of games like that where you're bricked out and you're like, okay, let me just add a Bunbuku to hand in end phase, you know. But you could cut some of these, squeeze an Appaloosa in, get more negates, get more monster negates. With a lot of this stuff, I mean, heck, you could add more rank 4 engine in here and just have things like freaking Abyss Dweller could be fit in, you know. All sorts of tech options that you could line out just to get more usability out of it. But it's a really good deck if you're not opposed to just playing floodgates and bagushka and secret village, you know, things like that. I don't typically play them, as you guys know. I Most of my decks are like control based. Like, I mean, hell, one of my most famous decks that I run is Earthbound Tearlaments, which no one plays, you know. So it's just some of those things where some people like them, some people hate them. For me, that's a type of floodgate I'm okay with, just because it's a spell card negate, and a lot of the spell cards in the game are just freaking disgusting, and there's a lot of like target pops that you can get from getting bodies out on the board, so you can remove it. It's not like it's not a complete shutdown of all things, but it stops them from just like, oh, I top deck Dark Ruinamore, you suck, you know. So it's just, it's Yu-Gi-Oh. It's Yu-Gi-Oh, guys, you know. Anybody watching this knows deep down, all the decks are horseshit. Every deck on the planet going full combo uninterrupted just puts up awful boards, you know. So it's just pick your poison. What do you like? What do you like? The art? You know? And Majespecter is one that I like the art. I love all these little the crow and the QB, the fox. Like, I love all the art on these cards. And I like the combo lines on it. I like the control that you can set up with your trap cards. But yeah, it's a fun deck. I'll be trying to get more videos of it. I'll try to get more replays. Hopefully before the end of the season here. We've only got like 2 or 3 more days of grinding. I'm just gonna try to go from Diamond 2 into Master, just so that I can reset back into Diamond next season. But yeah, we will see you guys on the next one. I appreciate all the feedback and any comments you guys leave. So please let me know. I know these keep getting longer and longer, and I ramble a ton, but I appreciate it. I appreciate the views. I appreciate any comments and feedback. So have a wonderful day. Have a good rest of your weekend, if it's a weekend still for you guys when you're seeing this. And if not, hopefully you guys have a good week leading up into the weekend.
Artificial love, we just make it up, 'cause reality will never be good enough. And even if it was, we just mess it up, 'cause we already lost, addicted to the